this video, I want to show you how to stop spiraling because it's something that I've struggled with and I've seen a lot of people struggle with it, and I think it's a waste of time and energy, so it's about time that we talk about it. Honestly, I could go on and on and on about spiraling, but instead, I hope that I can share a few helpful tips to help you and others stop spiraling. So I have 3 tips that I'll be sharing today in hopes to help you stop spiraling. Okay, so first off, I wanted to say that I've had people on different substances say, Esther, I am tripping and I am spiraling and it is a bad trip. How do I stop that? Maybe that inspired me to make this video. Maybe it was because I have friends that are making businesses or just feel out of control in their life because of how the story has been perpetuating and over again. They've been telling themselves that they cannot do what they want to do and they are trapped. So let's just talk about the 3 things to help you stop the spiral. The first thing is to quite honestly admit defeat, okay? Acknowledge where you are, okay? It's important to acknowledge where you are because guess what? You can't change where you are. Like, you have to accept that this is a part of your journey and that there are feelings that are here for you to feel. Now, I will give the analogy of a whirlpool of water, and the water is just pouring in, and the more water that pours in, the stronger this whirlpool becomes. The moment that you accept, it doesn't help the whirlpool stop, and you might think it's useful to accept where I am. It's painful to acknowledge that there's these horrible thoughts in my mind that keep growing and growing and growing and growing. But in reality, there's actually a beauty that comes from accepting. It's where you realize right here, that's the problem. There's a problem that's stemming and it starts right here. And once you realize that, once you have your eyeballs looking at it and you acknowledge and accept that, hey, okay, this is where I am right now. This is energetically where the energy is starting to, the source of why I'm feeling this way. And so acknowledging why you feel that way is super important. And that is the first thing. Okay. So again, we're going to go to that whirlpool analogy. What can we do once we accept? Well, we kind of want to make the whirlpool not as big. We want to slowly kind of widen it so the grasps of it are not as strong. Or better yet, we want to redirect that energy to a more positive way of thinking. So the second thing that we want to do when you are stopping the spiral is redirect. You want to be able to redirect because, well, it's pretty simple. When you redirect your energy, you are allowing it to go in another, more positive direction. I don't think I need to tell you that, but if you have holes in your boat, you can scoop all the water you want. That's not going to acknowledge the fact that there's a hole in your boat and more water is going to pour through. So you have to redirect this energy, the emotions that you feel. So you have to realize the emotions that you have. Realize emotions and disrupt them. And just disrupt them. Disrupt the pattern. If you're able to do that, then you are in a good place. Why? Because when you realize the emotions that you're feeling, you realize where they're stemming from, okay, cool. And you're able to do something at that point. Where they're stemming from, you're now able to almost, you could say, flip that energy upside down and be like, pattern interrupt, actually this. So it's important for you to do some kind of interruption, okay? For me, I like to say purple pickle. Why? Because, I don't know, it's just like something that surprises my mind and makes me think about something else. So if you are able to redirect your energy, the best thing to do is shock it. Sometimes that means physically moving from the space you are in so that you can bring your sensations and your awareness in a different direction. For me, and I'll use the example of when I was kind of overthinking my business, like what to do, and I don't have the abilities or the knowledge, and or I have to do XYZ before I can do it. And I was really just honestly overthinking. Instead, I redirected that to not what is out of my control, but what can I control? I can control my emotions. I can control what I spend my money and how I invest it. I can control the people and my time and how I talk to them and how I approach every single moment of my life. I might not be able to control the outcome. I might not be able to control ideally what I want to do, but I'm not going to let that uncertainty make me spiral into helplessness. And I'm going to focus on what I do have control over. And if you're struggling with something like porn addiction, it's really important that you acknowledge where you are and then also redirect that energy to something that is more productive for you. Okay. So yeah, realizing your emotions, super important, really powerful, and it really does help. Okay, so let's move on to the third and final step when it comes to acknowledging, redirecting, and now building up a structure for safety. So when I say building, I really mean I'll just write down the word building. No, I don't think you guys will get it if I say that. I really mean just continuously strengthening this new spiral. So, what does that look like? Well, first let me turn off my timer because maybe I'll come up with the right word. Oh, there we go. Support. Yep, support is the word I was looking for. By the way, yes, I am filming this in front of my closet if anybody asks. Support is super duper important. It means either talking to friends and being honest about where you're at. Maybe do this after you've redirected your energy and built up a little bit of momentum. But support really means building a structure around you that is building a structure to keep you from spiraling. Okay. I'll just say of love, okay? Because we're running out of space and that's just how it is. So, what does that look like? It means continuously adding more and more and more to the new spiral that you are creating and building your support system. That means getting out of your head, continuously looking for opportunities to redirect old energy and exploring what it means to support this new spiral. It is really hard to break an old spiral. It's hard because there's so much momentum. So you have to have compassion when you're first acknowledging it, and you can't expect things to change in the direction of energy to change overnight. But I do believe if you take time, give yourself space, and accept where you are, notice where the spiral is starting, what situations are causing it, and then redirect that energy by interrupting what those thoughts are. Redirecting them in such a way where you are aware of the emotions that you're feeling and the emotional patterns that are coming up. Disrupt those patterns, whether it's yelling out purple hippopotamus or some other random silly word, to just get your mind stopping for a moment and wondering, what the heck did I just hear? And then going on to supporting yourself and building this new structure. It may just mean giving yourself a moment to replace that old spiral with a healthier one. And maybe it means calling a friend or simply recording an affirmation to help yourself. Whatever it looks like, building that support is the key to stopping the spiral and using that energy, that was previously harming you in a healthy, positive, fruitful way that is encouraging good growth for your soul and your body and your mind. So I hope that this helps you as you continue to explore breaking that spiral for yourself. And if you have any questions or comments or insights, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I really appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one. God bless and namaste.